Okay, so today I will be doing something like this. I cannot see the screen right now, so it's gonna be, maybe it's not gonna be great. Wait, I'm just gonna make sure it's recording. Yeah, the problem is that like this, oh shit, not like this, I cannot see how is it recording or if something happened. But the camera from this side is obviously better, so I'm gonna use this one. Maybe the quality is gonna be better. The audio is still gonna be kind of bad, but anyway. Today, I'm still gonna be using a bamboo stick. Pretty much the same, but since the day before yesterday, I've been using a plastic one. Today, we will be doing something different. I wanna keep it short. Again, I'll try it, right? So now I'll just show you maybe some training ways, because I show you how to do techniques, but you cannot do the technique just by practicing it. You really have to kind of build your body in a specific way to generally get this kind of feeling, to just move around and be flexible a bit, right? So, first of all, the first exercise I want to show is, I think, one of the most important ones, probably, because it is. I showed it before. It's this. It really does work great on arms. You have to be careful though. So this is pretty light, so we can just move it around really fast. But if I take something like this, for example, right? I know what it is. It's a foil. It does weigh quite a lot. So if I try to do it with foil, it's much harder. First of all, because it's thicker. So I have to grab it really well. And if I try to move it, it's sliding, so it's not great, but you get the point. It really does train your forearms. And this is the most important thing you need. The forearms. Why? Because they give you grip strength. And when it comes to actually training for all this time, I can say that the thing that hurts the most, especially when you're just doing it really, let's just say intensively, it ends up being your forearms and your hand. So first of all, if you do this, I started with a sword. I'm still not gonna bring it today, maybe later. So when you do this and you hit, right? The thing is, when you move, this thing slides here like this. It does this motion. So when you have something heavy and something that has like a material at the end, you might end up feeling like you're touching carpet. So it might really hurt. And it does. It does really hurt. Your hands are getting totally torn apart. Now this is a very good state I have right now, because I haven't been training with a heavy one lately. And when I've been training, I've been using gloves. So it's actually just kind of interesting that when I asked someone in the class, I don't remember who it was, I really don't. Anyway, so I asked, he does powerlifting, right? So he does something like this. Because I don't know, he goes to the gym, so I guess he does something like this. Just get the bar and go up. I've never done this, never. And if I would just pick something up, I have problems. Bro, this for me is a weight I can feel. It's 2 kg. It's literally 2 kg. And by doing this, I really feel it's heavy. It is really heavy for me. Not to the point where I cannot hold it with my thumb finger, because that's pretty much what I do every day. But if the head will be smaller, maybe I can swing it. I can actually. This is weird. The handle is so big. Actually good enough, I guess. But it is quite heavy, and it's 2 kg, and they're probably lifting like 30. I'm never gonna do that. First of all, and second of all, they have this weird idea that wearing gloves makes you weak. Which I can understand because I was doing the same. I was literally not putting gloves purposefully. On purpose. Just because I didn't want to absolutely because I wanted to destroy my hands. Yeah, later it came up to be a really stupid idea, but it is as it is, right? The older you are, the more experience you have and you understand these things. So, anyway, why is the grip strength important? This. When you swing, you really need this grip strength to stop. Why? Because when I was starting, you cannot really grasp the idea of hitting just by getting good motion. You really need, because what happens? Because when I do this, it looks like I'm just swinging, but I'm not. I'm gonna do this in slow motion. So I'm doing this, I'm going back, around, getting to this position, then I'm putting my fingers again, the leather, this, and I do this. But while doing this, I'm going to do that. So I'm gonna grab, obviously one, I'm gonna grab, and I'm gonna really hold it tight, and I'm gonna move, after the point I imagine the string, after I hit it, I'm gonna leave it, and prepare for the next attack, right? I haven't shown you the chain attacks yet, which kind of look like this. You just go like that. You just use the momentum from the first one to have the second one. Now, the thing is that when you swing, you really want to have the control over it and the ability to actually stop wherever you want, right? So if I go around, someone attacks me, I don't know, anything happens, right? So I can just go, right, and just stop. That's important. Because if you don't want to absolutely crush someone's skull, you can just stop right before, I don't know, kick them or something. So, it's really important. And since I'm dealing right now with something that weighs, I don't know if it even weighs half a kg or, it's very weird. Does it weigh half a kg? No, we're like, I don't know, 300, 400 grams, I would say. So it's very light, it's good because it's fast. Now, when you're gonna be dealing with something, I don't have anything else. I can do this, right? The thing we used. This is much heavier. This is like half a kg for sure, even more. So if I go and just swing it, right? I can feel the power, but it's not as fast. Now, if I try to stop before hitting something, it does work, but it's not as instant, right? You see, I have to pull back and it just jumps like this. So when I do this, it just jumps. But you really need to practice this. I did this by aiming at something, I don't remember what it was. I think I had a pillow probably. So I had a pillow like this, and I just took a sword, and I do this. And try to stop. I get it. Oh, that was good. The heavier it is, the much harder it is. And you really get torn out. Because if you really want to do a powerful strike, because these are all just for kind of demonstration for catching something very light. If you really want to hit someone, you have to move your entire body and your hips. So if I really want to hit someone who is right in front of me, right, I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna use my technique, which goes left foot like this, I'm gonna go that, and hit, right? So if I do this again, this, like this, and I hit. That was hard. Now, that's what I'm doing. What I want to show you is how important it is to have your grip strength really, really maximized. When I was on the vacation or something, I was always taking a stone, a pretty sharp one, and I was holding like this. I was absolutely fucking crazy at this point, so I was doing this for like 12 hours a day on vacation. And I sometimes even held it for like this for an hour and I didn't even register it because it was so normal for me to just grab it and hold it like this. Now, you really need that if you really want to really get into it. If you have a good grip strength already, that's good. You have pretty much everything you want. The second most important thing is hip. Now, how do you train your hip? That's weird, right? How can you train it? Well, the way I do this is every single time I actually try to do something about it, I use what I call the anime training session. So what it ended up being, I just watched some anime, I just remembered something manga I read. Because that's how I essentially went to Candy, right? Watching Baki and Musashi. And reading Baki and Musashi. So what I ended up finding is that in very, very evolved scenes, people are just like standing like this, then disappear and fight each other, right? So they move very fast like this. They just go in about like 300 kilometers per hour. Now, I started doing this. Why? Because from this position, for you, what you have to do is to change your hips, go on this leg, put this one forward, and go forward. So what this does is actually train you to move your legs really fast. Not like super fast, because if you train boxing, that's good, because you're pretty much perfect. Why? Because in boxing, what you do is you actually use your hips like this. I haven't tried boxing yet, but I have used some of their training techniques. I haven't jumped the rope and everything, but I was like doing something like this, right? The standing position, that's super important. Like this, right? So the block. I mean, I know this isn't really boxing, but it's more like karate. So what's important is this actually. This movement like this. Right? Be really fast and change your weight. Like this. Then you can, when you know you can go in, right? You can just change. And you see they're not looking attention, so we just boom. That's what pretty much karate is about. When you see someone very light doing karate, that's pretty much what they're training, right? They want to be as fast. Techniques want to be explosive. Just go in and out. Right? If you're fighting someone stronger than you, bigger than you want to do something like this, right? You want to change them, maybe attack, I can go back, right? If you want. So, by doing this, like jumping on one leg, or what I showed you before, something like this, so on one leg, and do like sit-ups? No, what is it called? What is it called? I don't remember. Wait. Squats. But squats I feel like most when you have weight on. Anyway. Oh, good thing actually. What I'll show you right now is another thing you need, because that's pretty much for a hip. What you really need is this very fast motion of turning it, and this of using your feet as pushing it like this. So I'm gonna push my feet right there. I'm gonna jump. So I'm gonna jump, but I'm not gonna jump. So I'm gonna do this. And turn my hip really fast. From this position to this position. Like when you're throwing a punch, it's exactly where you're throwing the punch. So when you stand like this, you go to throw a punch, right? You're gonna go back a bit on your leg, you're gonna go forward, you're gonna accelerate your right leg. I'm gonna go forward. Left leg is gonna slide like this. To add motion, so I'm gonna change this leg to this leg, like this. Just like this, I'm going to add momentum. So again, I'm gonna do this. Go back, weight on my right, go forward, change my direction of the hip, and punch. Right? That's pretty much how you also you have to kind of imagine you're punching the air. Right? So you have to imagine you have like a punching bag right in front of it. So like here, can you imagine, I don't know, he tries to throw a punch at this. Oh, boom. I don't know how to punch. Maybe it was trash, it probably was, but if I try to go back, right? Something like this. It's probably really bad because I don't know the head movement. But I'm talking about the distribution of the energy, right? So you want the energy to go forward with the punch. So now I did the breath, right? I took that's good. It's another thing you really have to watch out for. There are a lot of minor movements because what I'm doing right now is getting into really general stuff. I'm not doing into one thing because if I just wanted to talk about, I know, the kicks, which I don't know much about, I can do for like 5 episodes and still not be sure if I actually told you enough to understand. Because there are just so much things you have to take care of that nobody really taught me. But so I don't know what you really know. I was training it all by myself, so this is all my just experience and trying the best things. So about the breathing, what I do is you really can get out of breath, especially when doing a slash. So what I mean is if I do a slash, say right down one, I hold my breath. It really depends. It's my just style, because normally what you should do is do this. So you should bring your bring your breath up, right? That's what you do when you punch. I'm pretty sure they teach you when you do karate or anything, the breathing styles, right? So what you do, I don't know, you can think about it like, what the hell is the name? No, that wasn't the Natsu Taiser, that's the other one. The Demon Slayer. Was it Natsu Taiser? No, that was 70%, right? Fuck. I don't know. I want to know, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so what you do, right, is before you punch, you want to stiffen your body. First of all, you want to relax it. So before punch, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna hold my and do something like this. No, that's wrong. I'm gonna relax my body as much as I can. This is also very important, but we're gonna get to it later. Maybe not even today. So maybe I should actually do specialize on every single one because I wanted to talk about the training techniques, and every single time I tried to talk about something, I just ended up talking about something else. I don't know, we'll see. It's just English training, so anyway. So what you do is you want to relax your body as much as you can. Go back. I'm still not even moving muscle right now. All I'm doing is moving my legs. My arms are completely gone. I'm gonna do is just rise it in the shoulder. So I'm gonna go back, and right in this position, right here, when I turn my hip, I'm gonna clench my fist and use my elbow as like a propeller. So I'm gonna actually explode it towards the punching bag, right? I'm gonna do it in slow motion. So when I do this, right? So first of all, you have to imagine, because imagination is also very important. But that's topic for later. Later part, let's just say. So it's like I'm putting all my weight behind my fist. If you really want to go for like a one shot knockout, So we're gonna go back. I'm still not feeling muscle. It's completely free. I'm gonna do this again. Step right here. I'm going to turn my shoulders and my hip at the same time. Not doing something like this. You can, but that's for a different purpose. So you wanna move at the same time, and then if you do, you can get really much power from it. The same is with kicks, right? I don't do. Like from here, my legs completely, I'm not even trying to harden it. The moment I actually harden my leg is here. From this position, I'm gonna move my hips like this. Again, this movement is so important because you, remember, I don't know, this is around here, I have the center of mass, around here, right? So if you move the hips, which are really, really heavy, so when you move your hips up, I'm gonna bring myself up, I'm gonna stand on my toes and turn. I can feel like my whole weight is shifting. That's what you wanna hit with. You wanna hit with weight. That's what gives you power. So when I do this, right, I'm gonna try to punch it without actually moving my head, right? I didn't move my head, right? Again. Maybe even stronger. I don't think I can get stronger than this. So now I'm gonna move my head, right? So I'm gonna do this motion right here. You see how much power it does? You just, if you do this right technique, you can really, really, really get a lot of power from it. So now, what about breathing? Every single time, it really depends, because I don't even think about it right now, but it really depends on the strike. So there are three ways you can do this, obviously. You can either don't breathe at all, you can breathe in or breathe out. Now, what I did for most of my training is breathe out, not even realizing this. So almost every single time this sounds like this. And later I realized it's not really good, so I move, I'm gonna do the it does good for the concentration because you're not really hardening your body, you're kind of softening it, so you have more control over the floor. So I can do some. It's good if. Okay, let's not talk about this. It's just you shouldn't use it yet. So breathing out, don't think about it yet. Now, not breathing is like a normal way of doing it, right? So it's like driving a Toyota. You have, I don't know, a wheel of fortune where you will be driving, right? It's Toyota is or Range Rover, right? It's gonna just be alive and drive anywhere, wherever you go. So if you do this and just normally don't breathe, it's gonna work, no problems, right? Now you can pick a Lamborghini, which is gonna be fast on so fast, super fast on 50% of the maps, and absolute dog shit on the other 50. Now what changes is this. When going your air into the lungs, if you, I don't know biology, so when you get your air into the lungs, you're gonna instinctively moving up because your lungs are expanding. So we're gonna do this. And as your lungs are expanding, your muscles here are stretching. So they're kind of tense. So when you want to relax, you breathe out because your whole chest muscles are just gonna. And if you want to go up, we use this motion, right? Up. You're all stiff here, and if you're stiff here, you're stiff here, and then you're gonna just get stiff to the legs, and just your whole body is like completely tense. So you want to do this. Why? Because the more tense you are, the more power you have behind it. Because when you're talking, I haven't mentioned yet, because when we're talking about power, how much power you can extract? First, weight, which is called like power, but it's more about weight, speed, and density. Because if you even, I don't know, shot. What? What could shoot? That's water. Let's say water, right? Normal water. I have like the. I don't know why I say water like Russian water. It's Beva 5 plus. Without gas, Anyway, so if you shoot water like this water, right? Without the plastic bottle, right into this, like 100, I don't know, meters per second, and just smash it. So let's say this weight's around, it's not full, let's just say it's around the 1K, right? It's 1K, it hits here, boom. Okay. Good, it hit. Did make him, then probably not, it just hit like this. The power just got dispersed over this part and just pushed it back, right? Now, what would happen if I do the same thing, but not with water, and let's just say, I don't know, a metal, right? Well, maybe a metal, obviously we know what the metal is. Wood, let's say wood, right? Wood. The same, not the same amount, the same weight of wood, like craft in a block or maybe a sphere, probably a block. If I shot it at the 500 meters per second right into this, I can tell you that it's pretty definitely going to absolutely annihilate this bag. Now what's the difference? The weight is the same and the speed is the same. So, but the one doesn't have density. If I hit it, if not clench my arm, now what happens? I'm just translating energy into it. Like if I actually clench my arm, the energy output is the same. Because it is. I haven't got the energy to it. It's not. But what I did is I applied energy not to this whole part, to actually a very small one. So if you hit, you want to minimize the amount of connection you have, because the smaller the part you're hitting, the same amount of force, the stronger it's gonna feel, right? You can call it the pressure, right? So if you have, not depression, the pressure in physics, right? When you have the fluid or the air, right? Putting pressure on anything. So the smaller, if you put the whole bag and put pressure on it, oh, the famous experiment. If you have a bed filled up with nails, you can nail it. You can literally just slip on it, no problems asked. But if you have one nail, just one, if you try to sit on it, it's obviously not gonna end well, right? You're gonna get stabbed, smashed, you're gonna get an infection, you're gonna die. No, not good. I mean, depends for who. So, that's what it's about, distributing the pressure. The energy can be the same, but the way you apply it really matters. So what happens when I breathe in, my whole body stiffens. So what happens is as I move, I don't do this fluidly, right? I can just move fluidly, I don't know, change the direction, right? Stuff like this. Cool things. Oh shit, I hate the child. I cannot do cool things in here because of this. Normally I would just do something like this, in here. Maybe if I'm gonna get a mic in like 2 years from now, so maybe we'll just do the episodes in the wild, when I touch the grass. So what happens is, again, I'm gonna do the same thing, but breathe in, right? So I'm gonna do this. In the moment I'm going to do this, I'm gonna breathe in, like this. So what's gonna happen is this. So you probably didn't see it, but it was faster than the two before. It was much less controllable because I just focused on the speed and power. Like this. If I don't, I can think where it's going, but when I breathe out, I can control it. So that's pretty much the oh yeah. To end it up, probably because it's like 20 minutes already. So to end it up, how do you train your breath? Now that's an interesting question because we haven't really thought about it. It was just like natural for me to do this. Even if you do like, I don't know if you can see it, but anyway. I'm gonna try to do push-ups. Push-ups, right? If I do push-ups, I'm not gonna breathe. I'm literally trying. Normally, when I do push-ups, let's see if I can do 10 and don't breathe. So I'm gonna hold my breath. Let's see what's gonna happen then. So, I'm good. So, I ended up doing and just realizing when I train, I don't breathe. Because I really want to focus on this really small part. Like, when I push, I really want to make sure I'm doing the right technique. The technique wasn't really good or anything because I wasn't actually thinking about it. So, in the meantime, you can also do, before this, I breathe in. And every single push-up I did, I breathe out a bit. Again, for the same reason. Why? Because I want to really focus on what I'm doing. When I breathe out, everything just becomes clear. If I breathe out, I really ignore of everything and just focus on my power, right? So that's what you do when you punch or kick. If you kick, you can do these three things. You wanna actually just, first of all, you're gonna think about it, but the later you go, the way you're gonna realize you're not really actively like trying to calculate what you want, right? You just feel it. When I want to punch, let's see, someone is in front of me and it's off balance, right? So I know he's off balance. So I really want to like hit him hard because he's off balance. He's not prepared to get hit and he's not gonna counter attack me, right? So when I see him like this, I'm gonna kick him with like this. But if he's guarded, if he's like this, ready to take a shot, right? Setting his leg like this for me to actually hit it so he can go again and maybe punch me. Right? So I'm gonna just do a very quick, gentle touch, maybe a hook. Pretty normal thing. So, what you really have to understand after this, breathing techniques, really important, training your grip, really important, and the hip. That's pretty much all for today. It was really generally, I haven't gotten into details yet. Maybe the breathing was pretty good explained, but yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it for today. Let's see how many actually took. Oh my god, 30 minutes. Well, oh, sorry, I forgot. Obviously, the ending. Fuck off.